What's up, Instagram? It's been a minute since I've made a video like this. I want to talk about cannabis meditation. Such a shocker. It's really all you ever talk about. I know, but it's my whole life. So here we are. But I wanted to talk about this practice because I want to keep talking about this practice because there's so many layers to this practice. And the more that I do it, the more I hold space for it. And the more that I teach others how to hold this space, the more layers that are revealed to me. And so I'm gaining a deeper and deeper understanding of this practice on so many levels, so many levels, that I have to keep sharing it. And so I want to just keep making stuff. And I haven't been doing a great job of making stuff lately. So I'm going to try to do better. If you know me at all, you know my love-hate relationship to platforms, right? So if you don't know me yet, now you know, and it's a whole thing. Okay, so really what I want to talk about is cannabis meditation because we are practicing a skill set. Now, the skill set that we're practicing is, first and foremost, is turning off the fight, flight, or freeze response in the body, getting out of that defensive, tense, rigid, clenched, fearful based state of being, not only in mind, but in body, right? So like relaxing, like, fuck, just let it go. Just relax. So that's the first skill set that we're practicing. The second skill set that we're practicing is starting to understand the monkey mind with more clarity and more depth, because sometimes the monkey mind is so convincing of its reality that we believe we are the mind, and we're not. The mind is a part of us, but we are not the mind. So this practice gives us an opportunity to observe the mind as a separate entity of us. We can say, oh, there's the mind doing what the mind does, which is think. Usually thinking in loops, and if not in loops, in repetitive cycles or patterns, right? The mind is very much a computer program, and it runs on autopilot for 98% of our entire existence. And so when we start to pay attention to this part of us that runs on autopilot 98% of the time, we start to realize that, like, hey, I actually don't even really agree with that anymore, right? Or that was something that I was told, or that was something I believed based on something I experienced as a child. And so actually maybe that's not even true. But because we live in such a loop or a conscious or an unconscious pattern of thinking in the mind, we don't ever realize that we're not actually the mind. Well, the mind thinks, it's what the mind does. And so when we're doing cannabis meditation with the two skill sets that we're practicing, relaxing and calming the body, but becoming aware of and then ultimately quieting that thinking mind. Now, it's really difficult to quiet the thinking mind, as it turns out, especially for those of us that live in this culture with these technology boxes glued to our faces all the time. And so that's why cannabis meditation is an interesting approach, because we can pay attention to what we feel in the body. Because when you consume cannabis, it illuminates the energy in your body and it makes it really easy to pay attention to. Almost, it's a little intense, right? Because we can feel in our bodies what we normally can't feel because we're normally running on loops in our mind. So as we learn how to really allow this sensation, these new sensations in the body, as you just relax and allow these new sensations to be there, as you feel safe, you're not in fight, flight, or freeze, even when maybe perhaps it's slightly intense or uncomfortable, I'm still open and relaxed and just allowing this energy to move through my body. Well, once we can get comfortable with the energy, then we can start to watch the energy with our mind. So now we give the mind something to do, because the mind likes to do things. Normally it likes to think. So if we give it something to do, we're kind of like enchanting it, like, ooh, pay attention to me over here. Hey mind, hey monkey mind, pay attention. But that's happening in energy or in sensation. So we practice this over time so that we can teach our body how to feel safe. First of all, how to turn off fight, flight, or freeze, because if you can't get out of fight, flight, or freeze, your mind is not going to get quiet. It just cannot happen. It won't happen. You'll be stuck there. So we have to focus, we have to practice. You're safe, you're safe. Take a deep breath, I got you, you're safe. You have to allow your body to feel safe And in cannabis meditation, there's all these sensations that maybe feel a little intense. And so it's harder to feel safe sometimes. And so we just have to allow that to happen. So we're practicing that. Then once we feel safe in the body, we can notice how busy this mind is and how the monkey is just like all the time. So now I've taught my body how to feel safe. Now I'm teaching my mind that, hey, you're not the whole show here, bruv. You're not actually right most of the time. Right? So now we have this awareness of the monkey mind or the automatic mind that's just running. Now we have something to work with. So then with the sensations that we feel in our very relaxed, open, safe body is crazy. Feels like light and glitter and tingles and woo, it's pleasurable and it's playful and it's weird and it moves and it's all these things, and sometimes it's intense and sometimes it's soft, and it just goes and changes because that's what energy does. It's just always moving, always unfolding, coming in, going out. It's in, it's here, it's there, it's everywhere. This is energy. Always. It's always doing this. Right? And so then what we do is we hook the mind to watch it like a show. I envision this like light water show on the strip in Vegas that's all timed to music, right? And the light and the energy and the water is all doing the things. And that's what's happening to your body. And your mind goes, whoa, that's really cool to pay attention to. So now I'm watching this energy moving, coming in and out and moving around and bouncing and changing and shifting, and pleasure and pain and discomfort and all the things, right? I'm just allowing that to happen. And so as we do that, we're teaching the mind how to pay attention to your body. Now you're meditating because your body becomes the object of meditation that allows that mind to actually be quiet, to actually soften its incessant thoughts. And so now as you're paying attention to what you feel and the mind goes quieter and quieter and quieter, now we're right on the brink of dropping in to what I would describe as a spiritual realm or another dimension or something that's supernatural or deeply profound. Dr. Joe Dispenza would call it the universal field of intelligence. The quantum field, the field where all eternal possibilities exist. Right? But you can't get there if the mind isn't there, the mind is here and the body's this, and I'm running rampant in thoughts. So we use cannabis meditation as a practice to teach the body how to feel safe, to teach us that we are not the mind, to teach the mind to pay attention and to be enchanted by the energy and the sensation that we feel as it moves through our body. And then we surrender into the unknown, the abyss, the beautiful field of eternal possibilities. Right? Now, I will say that space feels scary to the mind, to the ego. The ego mind likes to keep us in this body on this planet. So when we talk about dipping out into a softer other dimension of time and space, the mind might be like, no, we're not doing that, right? And so again, this is why we practice this. Because I believe this is our birthright, to be able to drop into that state of unity with the Creator, with surrender of the physical body, of access to the quantum field of eternal intelligence. I believe it is our birthright that we can access that space. But because of our conditioning and this human experience, it's harder for us to get there. So cannabis meditation is teaching us the skills that we need as human beings in order to drop into what I think is our birthright as spiritual energies. And so we do this as a practice because it takes time to unwind the nervous system after a lifetime of trauma or being in fight, flight, or freeze. It takes time to teach the mind how to soften and to get out of those habitual states of being, thinking, and processing, analyzing, understanding, intellectualizing everything. It takes time to learn how to be enamored or encaptured by the energy in your body to the place that you're falling in love with it. This is why it's a practice. So I don't need or desire to teach anything about this spiritual realm, whatever that is for you or not is for you. Whatever that you would describe as the Creator or God or the universe or source, I don't care or need to explain any of that. My work here on this platform is simply to support and educate people as they understand the human, as they understand the nervous system, the conditioned mind, and what it is about this experience that keeps us from dropping in to deep states of meditation. And that's what cannabis meditation will teach us if you commit to it. I love you.